Today's a big day, dude. Today is a big day. Genshin keep releasing lore stuff like when nobody expects it, so we have to just keep up with it as best we can, dude. We have new information. Very important information if you haven't seen this yet. This is basic. Genshin have basically spoiled Nod-Krai. This actually gets kind of crazy. More crazy than I expected it to, and not what I expected it to be at all. So obviously we saw all of this stuff already, but one thing that we didn't see was all of the question marks on the astrolabe looking thing, right? They are not question marks anymore. You know what I love? Gaming with friends. So I owe a huge thank you to Honor of Kings for sponsoring today's video. Honor of Kings is a fantastic 5v5 mobile MOBA. You can choose from a massive unique heroes list including mythological legends, each with signature skills and legendary stories. The gameplay is phenomenal. I had the honor of playing this game with Duck, and we had an absolute blast. We won pretty much every single game we took part of. The game requires a lot of teamwork, good communication, and a lot of skill, which clearly both of us have. Right now in Honor of Kings, there's a phenomenal collaboration with Jujutsu Kaisen, with abundant rewards and a brand new gameplay mode. You can get some awesome skins, including Nobara Kugisaki and Fushiguro Megumi. The main event of this launched on March 20th and is going until April 17th, so make sure you check it out to get the skins. And you can complete event puzzles to earn the hero Guiguzi, the Jujutsu Kaisen skins, and Jujutsu Kaisen expressions. From March 28th to April 16th, you can also complete tasks to unlock collaboration voice packs for Fushiguro Megumi and Nobara Kugisaki. And from April 1st till April 17th, there's a Dreamscape Brawl Entertainment mode that's going live. In this game mode, it's 5v5 gameplay where the base transforms into a cursed spirit and joins the battle. Absolutely crazy, tons of fun. Highly recommend checking this out. So download the game via the link in the pinned comment and description box, and check out the events and Jujutsu Kaisen skins. You don't want to miss out on this. The Wheel of Fate points in 11 directions. Does that mean all of these people have their own fates? Like, does that mean that all of these are different timeline endings? Is that what that means? Because think about what we just got as well in the latest world quest, right? I don't want to spoil anything. Does that mean that each one of these factions have somebody or some way to make fate decide which way it's going to end, which way things are going to go? So let's start this. Let's just click. And I'll move my cam if needs be, but I don't think I need to. Let's just start at the well, we can start anywhere, dude. Let's start with something that we already know, because this is incredibly interesting, chat. Incredibly interesting. Let's just begin with the Adventurers Guild. We know exactly what the Adventurers Guild is. We were a part of it. Catherine, every region that we go through, right? Ad Astra Abyssosk, the guild's strong presence in an adventurer's paradise like Nod-Krai is only natural. A certain important figure from the guild's headquarters is preparing to welcome you as a sign of respect. Sit with it for a second. Sit with it for a second. Would they speak this way about Catherine? Regular old Catherine. I see a lot of you all say is Sandrona, but I don't know about that either. An important figure in quotations from the guild's headquarters. For the guild's headquarters. There's no chance on earth this would be Varka, right? Yeah, I don't know. I really doubt it's Sandrone. I don't know. I feel like Sandrone's gonna have a different part to play in this and not necessarily welcoming us to Nod-Krai. That feels kind of... It'd feel kind of backwards considering what we know the Fatui's plans are. I don't think it's a stretch to say that Varka could be seen as an important figure from the guild's headquarters as well, by the way. I don't think that's a huge stretch. Yes, I know he's a knight, but that doesn't mean that he can't be part of the HQ as well if he's already headed back there. I don't necessarily think it is Varka. It was more so posing a question. I also don't think it's Catherine, though, so I don't know who this could be. Next, Clink Clank Crumb Cake Craft Shop. Brother, what? It began as a small workshop that a certain prodigy used to research the world's best crumb cake machine. But over time, after the creation of many intricate inventions, it gained a new identity as a famous machine workshop. Be sure to mind your manners when begging that genius for a favor, though, or whatever component she gives you might be liable to cough out a nasty crumb cake at any time. This one is interesting because this one makes me think of Sandrone. Because it's not necessarily talking about the chef or anything that's making the cakes, right? It's talking about the machine maker, I think. This one's interesting. Not going to spend too long on this one because I don't really have anything to go off of. Dead ass, I don't know what to go off of. Now, this one is really interesting. Fatui. The Pale Star Edict, the highest of commands, has gone out. With it, the Fatui Harbingers have been summoned back to Snezhnaya and dispatched to Nod-Krai. The people stare and wonder, for what purpose does this army, bearing the banner of the Pale Star, come to their city? Or perhaps the question should be, for whom? Now, what the hell is the Pale Star Edict? The highest of commands. Very interesting. And why has it gone out? And also, it does say the Fatui Harbingers have been summoned back to Snezhnaya and dispatched to Nod-Krai. So all of them? I don't know what to take of this yet, but it is incredibly interesting. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of Fatui lore during Nod-Krai, for sure. Frostmoon Scions, we know briefly about these. The descendants of the legendary Golden Realm, who choose to find new homes among the mountains and forests after abandoning their ancient civilization. Ancient civilization. We know that's probably the moons, or like the moon realm. The only thing they never forsook was their faith in the moon goddess. However, with the arrival of the Fatui, it appears that their tranquil lives are about to fade into the realm of yesterday. So Nod-Krai is basically, I'm kind of confused right now, and I'm slightly worried, while at the same time being incredibly excited. And I'll tell you exactly why. This seems like too much information and too much politics and too many large organizations well known in the game and not coming together to be just a couple of patches. I really thought Nod-Krai was going to be like a Dragonspine edition, you know, where it was like for 1 or 2 patches before 6.0. I'm kind of worried now that Nod-Krai is going to be the 6.x patches and Snezhnaya might just be the year after. I don't know how I feel about that, but honestly, if that is the case and all of this is Nod-Krai, this is the most excited I have been for Genshin ever. I'm not kidding. All of these people coming together. We're not anywhere near done yet, by the way. We're not anywhere near done because we're going to learn about the Frostmoon Scions. Let me move on to the next one and you'll see why I'm goddamn excited, dude. Light Keepers. Look at this symbol. Light Keepers. An ancient organization that has long defended Nod-Krai's freedom and peace against the ceaseless incursions and wild hunt attacks launched by the Abyss. Now severely weakened from battles past, in the face of new threats, none can say for sure if the new generation of Ratniki will remain able to carry out their mission. This reminds me a lot of the battle pass sequence as well, and the people there, right? At least the way that it looks here. And we know that people have said that there's a lighthouse, right? This is probably the lighthouse. This is crazy, dude. I'm very excited for this. But the one that really got me the most, and we're nowhere near done, we're not even halfway through, dude, is the next one. Hexen Circle. We all know about the Hexen Circle, dude. Alice, Gold, or Rhine Daughter, and we know about the Hexen Circle, but dude, reading this earlier really sent my brain into a spiral, and you'll see why. Located at the edge of the world, Nod-Krai has always been the stage where conflicts and dramas unfold, one after another. How could the Hexen Circle possibly miss out on this golden opportunity? That feels like very specific wording. Golden opportunity. Number 1, feels very intentional. Number 2, I thought at first this was talking about the Hexen Circle being located at the edge of the world. But reading it again, I'm pretty certain it's saying Nod-Krai is located at the edge of the world, which is very interesting to me. And it being the stage where conflicts and dramas always unfold, we already know the Hexen Circle are the ones setting up all these summer events and things like that, right? It makes me very, very curious if all these summer events were the Hexen Circle's way of just preparing us for what's about to come. Because if all of these factions that we are reading about right now are all coming to blows at Nod-Krai, dude, I need y'all to remember something and think about something here, right? Nod-Krai 6.0 is probably going to be to get the Pyronoses. I don't think that's going to happen beforehand, but I guess it could. Think about this. Nod-Krai, if it is for the entire 6.x patch, dude, we're probably not going to have an Archon, like, as the main forebearer of these patches. It's probably going to be totally new stuff. It could be the Hexen Circle. It could be someone from the Knights of Favonius. It could be the Voynich Guild. It could be all of them. Dude, this is new territory. It could be the Frostmoon Scions. It could be Skirk. It could be... Dude, that sounds fun. It sounds so exciting. It sounds like we're breaking the mold of what we're used to, and we're heading into uncharted territory that we've never been to before. It sounds so interesting, so unique, so different, and a breath of fresh air that I cannot wait for. I'm not kidding. I'm so excited. I am so excited. That's the Hexacircle stuff. Let's move on to the Wild Hunt, a name that we've heard a couple of times, and if you played The Witcher 3, oh boy. The Wild Hunt. The armies of the abyss sweep across the wilderness and canyons like a storm. If you venture close enough, you may even hear their eerie whispers. These lost, soulless monsters appear to be silently searching for something. It's giving these little teasers, these little hints at what's going on. And if anything, this reminds me of like the Abyssal Lectors and stuff like that, right? This reminds me of Lectors and Heralds and stuff. So it's probably going to be, the Wild Hunt is probably going to be a new Abyssal faction that we come to, that we see. Don't really have anything more to go off based on this off the top of my head, but it's incredibly interesting. But this is probably why, chat, I need you to think with me here, right? This here, the Wild Hunt stuff and this symbol is probably why we're seeing a little bit of Enjo in Natlan, because it felt like he was so out of place there. They kind of just put him there, right? They threw Enjo in and he disappeared like nothing ever happened. We obviously still need the Mayor Javari stuff, but this is very likely to do with him. And obviously I feel like he's going to end up going to Nod-Krai as well. Bro, Enjo clashing heads with the Fatui Harbingers, clashing heads with us, clashing heads with the Frost Moon Scions and the Adventurers Guild, and then the Knights of... Brother. Everything is coming together. It is insane. I wouldn't be surprised if we get even more like old nations joining into the fights and stuff in Nod-Krai, dude. It'd be absolutely insane. Can you imagine all the Archons come together? Dude, I don't know what to expect. I don't know. Maybe I'm hoping for too much here. But let's move on to the Knights of Favonius one. I don't think I read this one. A small group of elite knights from the Monster Expeditionary Forces followed their Grand Master across Nezhnaya. Arriving in Nod-Krai, it is said that they have come on a crucial mission. Okay, so this is Varka. Okay, I didn't read this one. If I'd have read this one, it would have definitely made me not think it was Varka earlier. That's my bad. This is interesting. We're finally going to get to meet Varka more than likely. I can't wait for him to be a chibi. The Voynich Guild. The merchants of Nasha Town formed a commerce guild to maintain basic order. However, how could the outlaws that prowl between the islands be controlled by something as simple as mere rules? Seems that the honor of striking fear into their hearts must go to the boss lady for the Curatorium of Secrets. I don't know who this could be. This info was from Lieben, the Voynich Guild. Yeah, but I'm curious about who this is. Probably new people that we've just never seen before. Yeah, this is incredibly interesting. We're not done. We are close to being done, though. Treasure Hoarders are next. The Treasure Hoarders we've seen in the game since the very beginning, almost. The Treasure Hoarders have since spread throughout the rest of Teyvat, but their origin in Nod-Krai... Bro, I'm gonna keep it a butt, dude. I never knew that. Remains a little known fact. The great treasure left behind by Reed Miller, the legendary thief who yearned to create a world without boundaries, is set to be buried somewhere here. Bro, this is insane. The One Piece is real, chat. 1.0 lore returns. I don't know who Reed Miller is. I don't know who this guy is. You're saying finally Reed Miller lore? He was mentioned in 1.0? It's in the Adventure Handbook. He's the founder of the Treasure Hoarders. Dude, yeah, I didn't even know that. I wasn't playing in 1.0, so I have no idea. That's crazy, dude. Jesus. And then the final one, Snowland Fae. The Fae who once followed the first Cryo Archon, the Belly Saw, ruling the Northlands in their entirety. Though now shorn of their former glory, they still influence the nation in their own ways. One can only guess what path they will take as calamity draws ever closer. Yeah, this is freaking insane, dude. I don't know, man. I have no idea what to make of all this. It's so interesting, but they've basically leaked like a whole... This is what Nod-Krai is going to be. It's going to be all of these clashing heads, dude, which I think if that is the case, that is going to be fucking breathtaking. Thoughts? So we go back, and then the image is now fully visible. The Frostmoon Scions of Hisi Island pray to the moonlight in their hearts, sacred and unsullied. It's exactly as we saw it. It's exactly what I said as well with the little moon symbols here. They look like little freaking nails, or like it's crazy, dude. The whole thing is here. This is probably just the entrance. This is probably some kind of portal. I don't even know, dude. It's at the edge of the world. What else is this going to be? That's incredibly, incredibly interesting. Now, My Name for Now also uploaded a video titled Nod-Krai's 11 Factions and Plot Explained. It's a 30-minute video. I don't know if it's basically what we've just done, or if they go into a little bit more detail about it, but let's start giving it a watch just to see.
The least important part first, which is this clink-clank krumkak.
See, he says least important part, and I do think that's probably the case, but I think reading deeper into it, it could be Sandrone, dude. Probably not. I don't know. It could just be someone totally new as well.
A crafts shop. So it began as a small... Okay, this is essentially a teaser for an upcoming character in Nod-Krai. So this is most likely going to be a healer or a buffer of some sorts. You can tell because she makes a krumkake, These are a Norwegian cookie.
I disagree. I mean, maybe, sure, but I also kind of disagree because this person isn't the person that's like crazy about making the or like making the Kugisaki, but she's making the machines more than anything, right? The machines, not necessarily the. And also, yeah, Zhangling is a cook, and Shenhe now as well. None of them are healers.
Because she makes a krumkake. These are a Norwegian cookie. And if a girl makes a Norwegian cookie, her shop has the symbol of a heart. Heart symbolizes healing, and then you.
But it's got a crack through it and nails in it. So, and what looks like a boop, you know, maybe. Honestly, maybe I could see it. Actually, I could see it.
You literally have the stocks market symbol going up, which
okay. I don't think that's a stock market symbol. It's maybe it is. I see it more as a like an ECG machine.
Can also be interpreted as a heart measurement, heart rate measurement. You have the nails fixing the heart.
Yep.
Yeah, she's going to be a healer. This is just a very throwaway new character teaser. That's all.
I don't think it is. I don't think that's all it is.
There are much more important things we can discuss in this teaser, like the Hexen Circle. Look, we now know what the Hexen Circle symbol looks like, which is very nice for two reasons.
So cool, dude.
This suggests that we will be seeing the Hexen Circle witches, or at least some of them, in the very near future, and they are going to be involved in Nod-Krai.
I really want to see Alice, but I do think it's going to be gold because of the golden opportunity.
I personally hope we get to see Barbelith very soon, because Barbelith is probably my favorite Hexen Circle witch, and I
Hexen Circle witch.
really like Mona, so I'm probably going to really like Barbelith.
True.
And she honestly seems very, very funny. So
yeah, she does. She
at the
cool.
edge of the world, Nod-Krai has always... By the way, edge of the world here probably means something like Inazuma, where Inazuma is at the very, very edge of the continent of Teyvat. So Nod-Krai is something similar to that, but towards the north instead of being towards the south.
I guess that makes
like
sense.
Inazuma
Yeah,
is.
I took that very differently, but yes.
So located at the edge of the world, Nod-Krai has always been the stage where conflicts and dramas unfold, one after the other. How could the Hexen Circle possibly miss out on this golden opportunity? So we are going to be seeing the Hexen Circle. So expect to start hearing about these witches in the upcoming patches.
Dude, I'm
I wouldn't
so
be surprised
excited.
if they are going to come out before Nod-Krai, or not come out, but at least play an important role before.
Do you think this law drop implements that Nod-Krai will be 6.x and Shinejinai will be 7.x? Like insinuates? I think it's heading that way, yeah.
The Adventurers Guild originate from the main city of Snezhnaya, I would assume, but the treasure hoarders, the thieves, originate from Nod-Krai itself, which is not surprising whatsoever given that...
Well, not necessarily. Maybe they did originate from Nod-Krai itself and not, like, after the Tsaritsa gave Nod-Krai to the people, because I assume by gave it to the people that people in Nod-Krai don't consider themselves part of Snezhnaya anymore, right? It sounds very political, but I assume that's the case, and that's why it's not just called Snezhnaya.
That it is a lawless city, or at least this is how Liben...
Yeah, a lawless city. Like, there's no way the Snezhnaya would just harbor a lawless city in their midst, right? I don't know. Maybe.
Now, there is a great legendary treasure left behind by Reed Miller. I do wonder if Reed Miller, my memory might be failing me, I may be misremembering. I do wonder if this man eventually grew into legend and somehow became the mythical god of thieves that we heard about in version 1.5. Was it 1.5 or 1.4? It was one of these. I'm not saying, this obviously does not mean Reed Miller is a demon god like Morax, Hagentes, Marcosius, Barbatos, the Caribbean, Othael, Orobash.
The Caribbean. Bro, these subtitles are fucking sending me, dude. That was supposed to be Decarabian. I understood it. I don't know why YouTube got it.
Beelzebul, he's not like one of those. He is probably just a very important mythical figure.
Yeah, I think so as well.
He is probably also not like Vanessa or Guhua.
I mean, probably not to that extent, but if this person yearned to create a world without boundaries and had a great treasure that was left behind by him there, I reckon he could have way more to do with the story than just a mythical figure of the past, you know?
So don't expect him to be an actual god. He is most likely a really important guy who through legends started getting worshipped.
Yeah, it's just
by
a legend,
thieves.
dude.
Moving on, we have the Adventurers Guild. Now, as we all know, the Adventurers Guild is headquartered in Snezhnaya itself, not Nod-Krai,
Yep.
but Snezhnaya, the main city. However, Nod-Krai is within Snezhnaya, so there are still going to be very...
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't want to say too much on this because obviously we just don't know yet. We haven't got the relevant information, but I am curious if Nod-Krai themselves consider themselves a part of Snezhnaya, or if it is... like I say, like a subversion, like a subdivision of Snezhnaya, or like a separate place entirely at this point, if they consider themselves a separate nation.
Influential in that area.
I
At
don't know.
Astra Sasuke, the guild's strong presence in an adventurous paradise like Nod-Krai
I
is
think a
only
free city
natural.
too. I feel like that's what it's going to be.
Figure from the guild's, So this figure is most likely one of the guild's not founders, those guys are dead, but one of the guild's leaders. And
God.
maybe we get to see Sandrone cope, very, very much cope. We might get to see Sandrone in the Adventurers Guild.
Yeah, I really thought the machine maker was going to be Sandrone, dude.
He
I don't
might
know.
be related to Catherine. At least maybe she
Yeah.
crafted Catherine, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Or they, because Sandrone could be the little puppet. Or he could be the big mecha behind it.
Bro, I had that theory since the second we saw it. I really hope Sandrone is the big mecha and the little puppet is just a puppet. I swear, I said that from day dot. And it's even in a video when watching an Ashikai video, I think, on YouTube. Bro, that'd be so funny. It'd be so funny. And I want I want one of the abilities to be that just rolls the little Sandrone into enemies like a little fucking bowling ball.
Or it could be both. Moving on to the next new faction, and notice how Nod-Krai, the city of thieves and lawless city, has all of these lore pieces. All of them are coming together like a puzzle,
Yep.
and everything is converging in Nod-Krai, setting up for the end game of the Tsaritsa.
Does that scare you, chat? Does that scare you? We're coming into the end game now. This quite literally feels like... Do you want to know what Nod-Krai feels like? Any of your Marvel fans in the chat? Or old Marvel fans, I'll say? This reminds me of Infinity War. This reminds me of the beginning of the end. Very, very interesting. Hopefully when Genshin Impact 2 Electric Boogaloo comes out, they're not doing Marvel and just go downhill, dude. But yeah, I reckon Genshin's got like 4 years left before it's done. Very interesting.
Endgame of the Fatui, endgame of Tevat itself. Moving forward, we are going to be going into Snezhnaya after Nod-Krai, and then into Kandria, and from Kandria, the Traveler and Dainsleif will go to the Sea of Flowers at the end and fight to weave the threads of destiny. In my channel, most of you guys probably don't know this because it's one of my it's my worst performing theory. It was about the Wild Hunt. However, now that the Wild Hunt is going to become relevant, I suppose I could go back to that theory and recreate it or remaster it into the modern days and, discuss more relevant stuff.
Okay,
the
that's
armies
interesting.
of the Abyss sweep across the wilderness and the canyons like a storm. And if you venture close enough, you may even hear their eerie whispers. These lost, soulless monsters appear to be silently searching for something. Most of you watching this channel, even if you have not seen my video about the Wild Hunt, are probably familiar with this incredibly famous Germanic folktale, which involves either a bunch of incredibly important kings or the god Odin, who was the god of the Wild Hunt in some traditions.
Oh, Jesus Christ, we already have a lot of Odin lore, dude.
So, this time... It is actually the Wild Hunt being connected to the Abyss makes sense because if you look at the deathly statuettes, which likely depict King Ermin, who was the king of Kandria, you can see those deathly statuettes, and from Ermin's image, you can look at Ermin's face, or at least...
Oh, shit. If you turn this upside down, it really resembles this image. If you turn that upside down, it actually kind of does.
Most likely Ermin. We don't know if that guy is Ermin.
Wait, let me move my camera a little bit. Yeah, if you were to flip this, it would look quite similar.
I would expect that the Black
Not
Serpent
identical.
Knights and the Abyss
similar.
Order's elites are carrying the visage of King Ermin. If it's
For
not
sure.
him, then it's going to be a reference to Odin in general.
Also,
But
as
King
well, dude, they could have utilized the enemies for that drop these so much more. Bro, we've seen about 10 in the whole freaking game. And half of those are in the Abyss, like Spiral Abyss, which is also quite interesting. But yeah, I want them to put more of these in the game, and I feel like they will after this.
Ermin looks
Maybe
very
that is
much
just
like
a wild hunt.
Odin, and Ermin itself is one of Odin's epithets, so it's most likely Ermin and most likely Odin. And Odin, as I said, was the god of the Wild Hunt, and Ermin is the leader of, well, we don't know if he is the leader of the Abyss, but he is definitely corrupted by a very powerful Abyss god.
True.
I've already discussed this in many of my theories in the past. You are probably familiar with the Ermin being corrupted by the Abyss part. I don't think many of you are familiar with what I said about the Wild Hunt.
Probably it's because it's the chasm specific. Well, it was it the chasm or was it Enkonomiya? I feel like it was Enka, no? Was it the chasm? No, probably the chasm. Yeah, but why though? Like, why is it chasm specific?
So I might have to remaster that video in the future. Regardless,
It was both?
I am assuming we will
So
be
it wasn't
soon
specific, I guess.
seeing, or at least learning more about King Ermin and Odin,
Bro, I would love to learn more about King Ermin.
or at least his relationship with the mythological god Odin in
Jesus.
Genshin Impact, very soon in Nod-Krai, which is also another massive thing of these massive factions converging in one city. The Knights of Favonius and the
Varka.
Grandmaster Varka are finally going to appear in the game. At least
Indeed.
hopefully they appear. Imagine if the Traveler...
Check Twitter pings. This better be good. This better be good. So, you know, chat, there's a character in a certain other game called Seele. Right? And in that game, one of the forms that she has a deer. The deer's name is Diana, and the Roman moon goddess and the goddess of the wild hunt shares that name. If we just take a quick look here and compare it to this, we're gonna get a Seele Expy, dude. We might get a Seele Expy. I didn't find this. I got tagged in this, by the way, just a heads up. Thank you for tagging me in this. That would not surprise me in the slightest as well.
makes it to Nod-Krai,
Well,
and
thank
instead
you.
of fighting Varka, you get some dipshit NPC saying, "Oh, traveler, you must be the one who saved Natlan."
Bro, it's gotta be Varka. Like, you know us? No, dipshit. It's gotta be Varka.
Well.
Has to
now
be.
that you are here and looking for Grandmaster Varka,
I pray. Listen, I've memed about it a lot, dude. I've memed about it a lot. Tiny, do you still have that video? You know what? I'll just let this clip speak for itself, dude. How long ago was this, dude? How long ago was this? This was a year ago. I made the prediction. Hey, enjoy. It's a nice summer's Monday morning. You load up Genshin Impact. It's the day of the new update. The Eula banner is finally back. A new event for a Mondstadt expedition. Mika takes you on a journey. He tells you, after farting,
Sorry, what were you saying?
I'll continue. He tells you, you're on your way to meet Varka. Varka? The Varka. Oh my god, it's been years. We're finally gonna go to get Kaya's cavalry back. Kaya's cavalry? Holy! It's time! You get on the boat. Dorman Port is the location we're heading to. We're on the way to Dorman Port. Off in the distance, you see a shit ton of horses. We're almost there. Varka should be riding one of them, but you don't see the silhouette. It's too far away. You don't see the silhouette of Varka. What is this? I thought that was the horse's head. It's... Varka is a chibi... But... Varka's a chibi boy character? No! Hoyovus! What have you done? This isn't how it was supposed to be! Oh no! hopes and dreams are crushed. The cavalry rides back with Kaya. Varka's got the stature of a 2-year-old child riding the back of a horse. And oh my god, his voice. His voice!
Mika? Are you okay?
His voice is nothing like what we expected either, dude. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't believe you've done this with us. I will have vengeance. Vengeance will be mine. And that's how the Yulabana happens. Yeah, the rerun, chat. The rerun. The Yulabana rerun. Oh my god, dude. What a fucking classic video. God damn. Tiny, you need to become the main, like, just clips channel. Just upload a fuck ton of weirdly edited clips, dude. So fucking cinema. Absolute. You have my my entire permission to just clip my shit and upload it and monetize that shit as much as you goddamn want, dude.
The Frost Moon Scions, there they are.
Here we go, baby.
Nod-Krai are, here, the descendants of the legendary Golden Realm. So Golden Realm likely refers to the Golden City, or at least belongs to the same era as the Golden City, mentioned in the finale of the Deep Galleries, which I will discuss again in my upcoming lore video.
Oh my god, that's scary.
I'm glad, however, it's revealed this before I uploaded that video, otherwise
I'm kidding, man. No, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. That's fucking insane.
Been really pissed. So now, instead of making a part 2...
hello, Bran. Hope you were good. There is a huge lore implication that almost everybody missed in the last part of the 5.5 world quest. Wait, what is it? Thank you for using the message effect as well. That highlights messages so nicely. What the fuck? That looks so cool. And it shows up in the activity feed. That's actually huge. What was the implication? You can just type it in chat. You don't have to do bits or anything, Moxie.
I can just add this information into that upcoming...
Paimon was called an emancipatory. Oh, yeah, we did notice that. I have a big theory that, yes, Paimon is not a guide. I actually have a theory that, and I feel like I can talk about the world quest without spoiler warnings at this point, right? It's been almost a whole week. I feel like, is that okay, chat? I feel like that's pretty good, right? Considering there was no main quest, so the world quest was like the main thing to do. I feel like that's okay at this point. So just as a heads up, I will be doing that. I can't just keep quiet about it forever. We come here for the spoilers. I don't know about that one. Yeah, I think based on what happened in the world quest where we were required and not told why we were required, but the traveler was a guide for Lil Guy to get where he needed to be to do what he needed to do. I feel like that is a big foreshadowing point for the main plot of the game, and I feel like Paimon is not our guide of Teyvat. I feel like we, the Traveler, are guiding Paimon to what she needs to do. But I feel like the world quest really, really hinted heavily towards that, and that's the biggest thing that I took from it in the end.
Video. It will take a few days longer, maximum 5 days from the publishing of this video, but it will be worth it. I intentionally skipped over these guys, and now let us talk about
the Snowland Fae, yeah. This is very interesting.
These Snowland Fae were the familiars of the first Cryo Archon, the Belyi Tsar, which simply means the White Tsar, ruling the Northlands in their entirety. Though now shorn of their former glory, they still influence their... Sorry, I just came back from a soccer game, so my brain is a little bit gone. But anyway, they still influence the nation of their own ways. One can only guess what path they will take as Calamity draws ever closer. Yeah. So this is very, very big. This is a very significant lore reveal because most of you guys... Well, let's not insult your intelligence. I think... Most of you guys likely understand the implication of these fairies. So Fae comes from Russian Vile or Willa. In Poland, they call them Willa, I think. Okay. I'm most likely butchering the pronunciation, but look, if you're Russian or Polish or Slavic or any of those countries, Bulgarian, Romanian, just correct me in the comments,
Bob,
no problem.
What is it? Correct the video right now. What is it? I don't know.
Essentially, they are forest fairies. and they were either created by the White Tsar, who came before.
Are these the fairies in fairy tales that are typically very playful and not the nicest? I think Fae, or is that different?
The Tsaritsa, or they simply followed and worshipped him, similar to how the angels worshipped the Moon Sisters.
Okay.
Now, was the Tsaritsa one of them? I think so. You can also look.
What?
You can see that they have ears similar to elves.
Oh,
so these are
true, dude. Or hear me out here. Bluetooth earpieces, just like the Akasha.
again stuff like Layla. Who else? There are many elves. Klee. I think Alice too, most likely. I wonder if Alice is one of them. Imagine if Alice is related to that Tsaritsa, like she is her sister. So you know.
I hate that.
You know how the Jinni Lilopar was created from the goddess of flowers? Imagine if the White Tsar is like the father of Alice and the Tsaritsa, and the two are siblings. That would be so funny. Anyway, yeah, I'm super excited for these fairies. Tsaritsa might be one of them. Once again, this is just a expectation, I suppose, of mine. It's not confirmed, but it's very good to learn about the Cryo Archon, the former one, and his followers and familiars.
True.
Is there anything... well, I suppose I should tell you guys this. Although I don't think it's going to be relevant, I will tell you about it anyway. These female fairies come in 3 different categories. You have the Forest Ville, you have the Water Ville, or Water Nymphs, in Russian folklore, and then you have the Air Ville, or Air Villa, or Air Fae, whatever you want to call them, those stuff. They come in 3 different categories. Is this going to matter to us? I suspect not.
Maybe.
They are likely all going to be snow fairies, and all of them are the familiars of the previous Cryo Archon, the lighthouse of Nod-Krai. This is why I was confused about the other lighthouse in...
Yeah, this is the most interesting part in my opinion, or at least one of the most interesting parts.
This is why I was confused over this lighthouse. I don't think this is the main lighthouse that's mentioned in Nod-Krai. I believe that the one that will, the actual lighthouse which protects the city, is going to be this very one shown in this picture. We have the Lightkeepers, the ancient organization that long defended Nod-Krai's freedom, peace against the ceaseless incursions of the Wild Hunt. This is the Abyss. Once again, Ermin and King Odin,
And again, dude, I think this will heavily relate, maybe not heavily, but I think it will relate slightly at least to what we see in like the Battle Pass trailer and stuff. This place just gives me that vibe, dude.
The god Odin, the All-Father of the Wild Hunt, attacks launched by the Abyss, now severely weakened from battles past. In the face of new threats, none can say for sure if the new generation of Ratniki will remain able to carry out their mission.
Let's go.
So in this context, I believe
I'm very, very excited to hear what he has to say about this.
Ratniki refers to the Lightkeepers, the ones who defend Snezhnaya from the incursions of the Wild Hunt, which is also the Abyss. Ratniki comes from Ratnik, and Ratnik in Russian should mean warrior. I am not Russian, nowhere even close to Russia, but I think it means warrior in Russian. No one cares about Belarus, that's like Russia light, Russia without sugar. So in those countries it means warrior. Also, Ratnik has a little bit, well, not little bit, very heavy negative connotation in the modern era, because it's in Russia, it's used as, it's a name for a modern infantry combat system, which in war lingo, if you guys are not familiar with such equipment, it essentially means a program where you provide soldiers with modern equipment, such as goggles, ammunition, and very high technology, high quality communication devices, in order to make them more effective and more efficient at their job in war.
Oh, interesting.
And of course, Ratnik has been used heavily in the Russo-Ukrainian war ongoing right now. So expect very soon a bunch of brain-dead Twitter activists human rights defenders, lawyers, politicians, all of these 14-year-old morons on Twitter. They're gonna come out and explain to us why we need to cancel Genshin Impact for including such sensitive topics in their waifu gacha game. Because of course,
probably did.
Hoyo is clearly supporting the ongoing war right now by using certain Russian words, right? That is very obvious. I mean, how could I play?
I mean, he's joking, but bro, Twitter is another beast, man. Twitter is another fucking beast.
Genshin Impact and pull for my anime waifus without knowing the important input about the 14-year-old human rights activists who don't understand anything about the geopolitical, socioeconomic, historical, anything about that region there, but they need to obviously give us their opinions in the gacha video game, because without that we cannot play the game. I suppose I should take this opportunity to mention another controversial terminology, which is the Curatorium of Secrets. I am not gonna go over its history, where it comes from, but, well, I suppose I should tell you it comes from German, and it refers to a group of people who are in charge of an educational institution, so something like a museum, school, stuff like that. And when Snezhnaya comes out, the fucking annoying Twitter morons are gonna be inevitable. They did it with Natlan, they did it with, actually Fontaine was not drama heavy. Sumeru, Natlan, those are the biggest two. And when Snezhnaya comes out, we're gonna have another party, boys. Get ready. Anyway, the Pale Star, because holy shit, that one's gonna be. I think the Snezhnaya one's going.
It's all about like how do you turn up to the party? That's the thing, right? How do you turn up to the party? Sometimes the arguments seem pretty fair, I would argue. The main problem is like like with Sumeru, it felt like the argument was pretty fair, but then the problem came when people that weren't educated on the matter or affected by the matter or everything else started speaking on behalf of other people with Sumeru, right? Because a lot of people were really mad about like skin tones and stuff, and then a lot of you know, white males and stuff were like, yeah, no, this is wrong, but then a lot of people that were represented by the culture were like, yeah, but we are represented in like this way, and not everybody is this skin color, and like I'm from this place and I'm this skin color, and like I'm represented in different ways, and a lot of people like to be represented by the music and stuff. And sure, I mean, I get it, representation in characters is also very important, in my opinion. I genuinely do think that, but it's like how you turn up to the argument is very important on how the argument is going to be received. And I feel like every single time, because the community is just so big and there's people literally everywhere, dude, people just get involved that have no right getting involved. That's why I just kind of stayed out of the last one, dude. I just sat back and watched the fucking fireworks, whether they were fucking nuclear weapons or pretty fireworks, you know, it doesn't matter. It just blows up into a shitstorm that it's never supposed to be. Every single time. Every single time.
To be the most cancerous one, because war is a very sensitive topic.
It is.
Anyway, the Pale Star Edict, the highest of commands, has gone out. With it, the Fatui Harbingers have been summoned back to Snezhnaya and displayed to Nod-Krai. The people stare and wonder, for what purpose does this army, bearing the banner of the Pale Star, come to that city?
So interesting,
or perhaps the question should be, for whom? Okay, so the Pale Star Edict, this is the biggest command in the Fatui, set up most likely by the Tsaritsa and Piero, and it is meant to gather all of the Harbingers into the Fatui HQ, Fatui headquarters, and it looks like Piero sent them into Nod-Krai, which likely means that they will be confronting the Traveler, maybe?
Hopefully.
Well, there are a lot of factions that are gonna be playing in Nod-Krai. We saw these pirate guys.
Dude, okay,
we
listen.
Saw the Treasure
I feel
Hoarders,
like this
Adventurers Guild,
I'm gonna let it finish, but
the Frost Moon Scions, the Forest the Snowland Phase. There are so many different factions. So yeah, no, bro, Nod-Krai might actually be an all-out war. At least I hope so.
Okay, but I don't want to get my hopes up. That's what I was just about to say, dude. I don't want to get my hopes up because I thought Natlan was going to be an all-out war. It wasn't. It was games. And then the war happened, and a lot of people found it very underwhelming. And honestly, the war for one patch was incredible, and the rest of it, sure, it was a little bit underwhelming based on what everybody assumed it was going to be, which is a full-scale war. For the one patch, it was phenomenal where the Abyss invasion happened, but then everything else was... it was still great, in my opinion, with the way that it was done towards the end of the patches. But for some of them, it was pretty underwhelming. This is showing promise to be one of the coolest, most innovative, most interesting regional updates in Genshin Impact history. And a lot of people will say, you're glazing, you're shilling. Bro, I had no idea about this shit. I deadass thought, dude, my world has been flipped upside down overnight when it comes to Genshin, dude. It's fucking insane. Oh my god, I've never been this excited. I swear to god, I've never been this excited. The closest I've been to being this excited was seeing Nouvellette. Deadass. Nothing compares to this with all of these different factions coming together and stuff. I hope they follow through on it and it's fucking amazing. Because with great anticipation and great excitement, there is a loaded shotgun at your face that could be great disappointment. And that's what worries me. But I don't think that's going to be the case, dude. I deadass went into this thinking after the live stream the other month that Nod-Krai was going to be a sub-region that was going to last a patch that was going to be like Dragonspine. Now, dude, I wake up to this. I wake up to countless tags on Twitter telling me to look at this because it's huge. Bro, with all of this, I fully expect Nod-Krai to be the whole 6.x patches with lore after lore after lore after faction after faction after faction. And Snezhnaya is going to be in a year's time from now or from the release of Nod-Krai. I would be happy if Nod-Krai was 6.x at this point. I really didn't think I was gonna be, but after seeing all of this, dude, I would be. I don't care if we're helping an Archon or not. I care that we're getting this much in-depth lore in the game. This is tying up so many loose ends, bringing up more loose ends that are gonna be wrapped up in the next few years. I'm so excited. This is a lore lover's dream, dude. I'm so excited to talk to my other lore friends about this as well, dude. I need to get on some lore podcasts and shit.
The Pale Star, if you guys want to know about it.
Yeah, call me whenever, man. Call me whenever.
Well, you can tell from the name. It is a very light star in the north sky, used for navigation by ancient seafarers. They still use it today. However, today we have a lot of like GPS and modern navigation techniques and maps and stuff like that. But you can still use it today. If you look at the sky, you see the dimmest star. That's going to be the pale star, and you use it to know which direction you need to guide your ship.
Oh, interesting. I thought it was always the other way around, actually. I thought it was the North Star, the brightest star in the sky, not the palest, the dimmest.
That's pretty much it.
Or is that just a different like religion or something?
It simply means guidance, I suppose. The guidance edict, the
different
highest
star
of commands. I wonder if the pale star is some kind of reference to the first Seele, maybe, because the Snezhnayans of the Hyperborea seem to be connected to the Prince of Light and the Pale Princess. But that is going to be something which I will discuss in my upcoming lore video.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, that's honestly about it. That's everything I need to say. Once again, pay attention to the...
Absolutely fucking insane, dude. Holy shit. Holy shit. Here's the link to that video, by the way, guys. God fucking damn. Go support my name for now. That is one of the wildest... I mean, it's a wild theory, not necessarily because the theories are wild, but just because the lore that we've had recently is absolutely insane, dude. It is absolutely insane.